All right. Hello, Virgo. Happy 2018. This is your full year tarot and astrology reading. So I'm going to lay out 12 cards, and I'm using the Morgan Grid deck. And then I'll read for each month in the year, 12 cards, and then I'll do the astrology reading. I'll just hold up each card that is associated with that particular month. That way you're taking notes and see how it all pans out. All right, here we go. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, so starting it off, we have the Death card. Okay, so normally when we see the Death card, everyone gets all panicked and they're like, oh no, it's a Death card. So the Death tarot, it means ending. It doesn't have to mean physical death always. Okay, so something has to end. So endings and beginnings, any kind of transformation, transition, transformation, any kind of changes that needs to take place. This is what this card means. So a huge change for you for the start in January, Virgo. All right. So the Death card, January. So what needs to end? Maybe it's a way of being. You have to figure that out. Could be someone that you know. Okay. The Hangman perspective, the way you look at it, the way you're viewing this death, this transition, right? Connecting up all the months as we move on. So how are you viewing things in February, right? Now with the Death and the Hangman, those are major arcanas. So let me take a look at this and see. The Death card is in the mental plane. Okay, so how are you dealing with that death, that change, that ending, new beginnings, change, transition, any kind of transformation? Okay, are you resisting that change? Are you unable to move forward from it? Then you have the Hangman in February again, right? So the Hangman is in the mental plane as well. So how are you dealing with this? Let me rest that there. Now for March, you have the Ten of Staves, and this is just overdoing it. This is like overcompensating. So if it's someone that has passed away, this is really hard to deal with. Maybe you have to pick up the load of stuff, or maybe this person can't do as much as they could do before. So this is like a death of an action, you know, or a possibility. So there's something has ended. Maybe you don't have as much help as you had before, and your life has changed and you have to prepare for that. So Virgo, if you've been in denial, you know, this reading might be a wake-up call saying, hey, where can I make a second plan or third plan, just to make sure, you know, have things lined up. So in April, you have, excuse me, the Nine of Cups, right? Showing off your talents, so on. So with this card, you're starting to feel better in April. Maybe you're receiving the help that you need. You find a new job. You're getting more bookings for different things, more work, extra work. So you're feeling really proud of yourself because for some of you, you're getting more work, or things are just working out better for you. Okay, you are really stepping into your own and showing off how good you are at what you do. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is just receiving the help that you need. Next, we have the Star card. Okay, this is May. So the Star card is in May. And this is about you trying to see if you're on track. Okay, this is the spiritual plane. So in your mind, spiritually, you're really trying to find out, okay, am I moving forward the right way? Am I handling the situation the right way? And make sure that you're not over judging yourself, being too critical, where you're end up making mistakes and ruining relationships and treating people in a way that they don't want to be treated. So make sure that you are aware of how you are coming across to others. January, February, March, April, May, June. This is June. So we have 8 of Cups, emotions, a lot of emotions coming up, where you're really thinking a lot about what happened in January. Maybe this month represents a birthday, a celebration, an anniversary, something like that. So for you, June is a time where you really have to think, and whatever help that you need, you have to seek that help, because it is what is in your best interest. Okay? Now, the 6 of Swords is maybe you need to move from the house you're in. It means a transition, leaving a negative or confusing situation into a more relaxing, happier environment. Okay, so this is you maybe leaving a relationship. Maybe you have to cut someone off that's not treating you well. Maybe you have to end some kind of partnership. Something has to end, or it's a physical move where you're moving from the home, you're selling it, anything that you can do to bring change. And it's like, if you're holding on to a house, it was there. If it's really important to you, then hold on to it. But look at how important this is to you and why, and so on. Okay. And if it's in your best interest, and moving might be in your best interest, maybe you can rent the place out, something like that. But July, you're really making that transition, because January this year is a big shift, and so is June, July. Okay. King of Rods. So the King of Rods is very resourceful in August. So you're really going to look at where you are and how this can benefit you where you are. What around you right now should you be learning? Sometimes we live in the past too much. Sometimes we live in the future too much. What's in your present moment that you can do to make your life a lot better, and those around you? Okay, this King is a fire element, so it's offering you that willpower to be motivated to get things done that you need to do in August. Okay, and is coming up to your birthday month as well, August, September. So this is your time to really bless yourself. Your birthday is a very powerful day, so you can do something special for yourself on your birthday that will boost your energy first thing in the morning. Maybe if you know the time that you were born. I'm so surprised that a lot of people don't have their birth certificate, and they don't know the time that they were born. And I'm like, how can you be like in the spiritual community? Like, they're going for like meditation and all these other things, and they don't know the time that they were born. And that's so important. And if you don't know it for whatever reasons, then that's fine. Just, tap into your ancestor meditation and find out the closest time. Maybe you'll get an exact time that will help you. Maybe it's 3 a.m. in the morning, 7 in the afternoon, like whatever, it's close to 11 or 12, whenever, like you'll find it, ask for it for dreams and so on. But yeah, it's very important, and you got to know yourself in this life. People are just so, some are just so not aware of this, and when you become aware of it, then that's good. It's, I don't put people down for not knowing, but it's like, okay, once you get the message, see what you can do with it. So the King of Rods is there saying, how can you be a boss for yourself in August? How can you use what you have and not complain about not having what you think you need? Very resourceful. We have the Ace of Swords in September, and the Ace of Swords, it's like that winning, it's a winning energy for me. I really love it. And you're winning with your words. That's the secret. Okay. You can win with your words and how you use your words. And it takes a lot of study to master this. So, people see the Ace of Swords and they think, okay, this is winning, prosperity. What's associated with it? It's like mental clarity, right? Victory. The victory is one that people would think of winning. But how do you win? You win by all the steps it takes to get there. And Virgo, you are like the boss at this. Virgo, you can get it done. Okay? So for September, this Ace of Swords is saying that the way you're going to use your words in September is going to be very powerful. For some of you, it's not going to be your main course of what you're doing. It could be like a side thing that you're doing, but you're really going to make an impact by using your words in September. Okay? And it's going to result in a karmic type of solution or win, victory. Okay? It's going to be like you're going to break through something that has been going on for a long time. It could be an injustice. Okay? But it's going to become a new start for something positive, right? And you can only do so much to help someone. Others have to really do the work themselves for that, right? And it's not always going to be pleasant. Okay, so now we have the Five of Swords. So October is bringing about chaos. Now, the last 3 months in the year for everybody, zodiac signs don't even matter. This is just the reading that I picked up. It's going to be very interesting and chaotic the last 3 months of the year. And things could shift to make it better, yeah, but you're going to notice that personally for you, there's going to be a lot of conflict, right? And when you win, if you feel the need to be, salty or just kind of like, kind of show off a little bit, even if it's just a slight wink or, a facial expression, you have done something that is going to be a great achievement for you, right? But try not to be too cocky, because this card's about being really cocky. But, this is going to be a great victory for you. And you should be happy about it. People always take this card as a negative, like, oh, this person won a battle, or maybe someone thinks that, oh, you can't do this, and then you just did it, right? All right, so the Judgment card. So for November, we have Judgment. So this is going to be you, like, forgiving yourself. If you feel guilty for the Five of Swords, get over it. This is like, maybe someone will be judging you for the way you handled your victory, so just handle it with caution, right? Because you've already won already, so you don't need to, be all crazy about it, but it still feels good when you win. Okay, so then December is closing out with the Six of Coins, and this is great. This is you giving. This is you, excuse me, giving and receiving, right? So if you give in a certain way, you receive, right? If you give it because you feel like you're forced to, you've already lost, right? But you win so much, right? Just by, it's a way of perceiving things, and the way you perceive things, everything around you works with that. We're in the physical plane, so we physically have to do certain things a lot differently. But spiritually, this giving and receiving, this means that you're going to be in a better financial situation to do that. But what's more important is a different mindset, right? To do that. It doesn't have to be money. It could be with the words that you're using, the things that you're doing. Using all your five senses. How can you use that? And that those are riches too, because those will change other people's life for the better. So December, there's going to be some mental way of looking at giving and receiving, but also of a financial way of giving and receiving. So if you feel like you're giving too much, or if you've lost too much and you feel like you don't have enough to give, in giving, it will help to correct that problem. So you'll just have to be wise and figure out how best to deal with that. So January, you had the death card. So we're going through the important days in 2018 with all the cycles going on. So January 31st, you have a lunar eclipse in Leo. So you can use that time to get yourself organized, as well as February, when you have the Hangman, is a solar eclipse in Aquarius on February 15th. January, February, March, April, May. The star in May 16th, you have Uranus in Taurus. And this will occur for the next 7 years on and off. So Uranus is looking at what it could change in your work. So when you're looking at your star card, you're thinking about your destiny. You're thinking about your life purpose and so on. So what does the meaning of the star mean for you? How will this relate for you in May? You can usually tell the month before how things are going. So for May 16th, Uranus is in Taurus, and this is like Taurus season in May, right? So Taurus will ground all this type of banking, financial changes that will happen. Uranus is coming in to change things that's not working. So you got to figure out what works for you. You got to figure out what works for you. Being original about things, maybe thinking about yourself, and actually looking at your talents and allowing yourself to feel good about the talents that you have, right? So how are you going to use that in different ways? Okay, whatever you're experiencing in May and even leading up to the end of June, how can you use the energy of Uranus to make changes to things that's not working? And remember that February 15th was the solar eclipse in Aquarius, and Uranus rules Aquarius. So remember that this whole year, it's so good to know these lunar cycles and so on, so that you can plan out the best way to remain strong throughout the year. And even if you didn't believe in all this astrology stuff and tarot card reading, you're still going to experience your year. And if you journal it and you match it up to that current year and see how it relates and see what you can find out from it, right? Now, June, January, February, March, April, May, June, you have 8 of Cups. And this is like time away to think, right? So there's a missing piece right in here. So things are not as balanced as they should. Even though 8 is an even number, it's still missing a cup here. So the way it's set up, it has a gap, and it's not like this cup is here and it's balanced. There's, you're still strong, but it's a little bit off balance if you want to look at it like that, right? And then there's like an eclipse going on there, okay? So January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, now June 26th to August 27th is Mars retrograde. I keep accidentally saying Mercury, but it's Mars retrograde. Scorpios and Aries will really feel this effect as they're ruled by Mars. When Mars is in retrograde, your willpower depletes, right? And you overthink things. And that Mars energy, they think things through. So they're not going to be like washy-washy, wish-washy. They're on point. So to feel this off feeling, use the retrograde time to actually look at the opposite of the power of Mars, okay? And notice that. So people usually say, when things are retrograde, the negative aspect of it, but there's lessons to be learned in there, and see what you can learn at that time. Please share this so others get it, the message. Now, July 12th is a solar eclipse in Cancer, and you have the 6 of Swords, that moving transition from something negative to something positive. July 27th, lunar eclipse in Aquarius. So again, you can use the positive aspects of Cancer and Aquarius to help reinforce what you're going through. And remember, twice there's an Aquarius, so a future thinker. You're going to need that for the last 3 months of the year. You're really going to need a future type of thinking outside of the box to get through it. August 11th, solar eclipse in Leo. You have the King of Rods in August. Okay, resourceful king, not just complaining about what you don't have, but how can you make it work, right? Make sure I don't miss any important notes. Okay, so October 5th through November 7th is Venus in retrograde. So relationship issues will be a big thing for, let me find my October. October is the Five of Swords. Yeah, Five of Swords. No, November is Judgment card. October to November. So any relationship in love, it could be some kind of jealousy, something of that nature. So anything with love is going to be some form of hardship there. Okay. And a Libra and Taurus will feel this the most. So Virgo, where is that a prominent in your sign for Libra and Taurus? So make sure you get your charts done. This will help you. November 8th is Jupiter in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius and Pisces will feel this more. So what happens here is Jupiter wants to be in control of things, okay? He wants to be, if there's a group of kings, Jupiter wants to be the king of the kings, or the leader of all the gods, that type of masculine energy. So now Sagittarius, it's in Sagittarius, Jupiter in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is a traveler, an explorer. So what you're going to find happening in November is, as far as your world and the world around you, which is going to affect you because you live here, right? So you're going to notice that there's going to be some unnecessary actions taking place regarding travel and so on. Jupiter is a planet of just receiving, if you will, right? Or just plenty, right? So the negative part that you're going to notice is that people using knowledge against another person, or the way that they're using information could be in a negative way. You will also see people twisting words and twisting actions, okay? So this is in a way to gain power, right? So here's where the judgment comes in. So the positive attributes of this is focusing on your actions. And the way to counteract this is focus on your actions and what you're doing to bring about good things, good fortune, good experiences, right? So this is going to be a 1-year event. So this starts in November 8th, but it's a 1-year event, okay? So from November to November, how is this playing out, right? Now, Jupiter also wants to see whatever is happening, whatever big action is happening in November, by November 8th, right? And I always say, like, even a couple days before it, you can feel you could feel stuff, right? So Jupiter is looking at the distance it can go with its action, right, towards someone or something. So it wants its reach to be wide and strong, okay? And every action has a judgment. This is what karma is. Karma is action, right? So if you end up hitting the wrong person, they're going to hit you back, right? Maybe you'll hit someone that, wants to hit you back, but they don't want to have a long-going problem, right? So they probably end up suing you or something, or not doing anything about it. But you hit the wrong person that's not about this turn the other cheek or forgiving, then there's a problem. So they're troublemakers, right? So this is where that judgment comes in on a bigger scale, right, Virgo? So then for your own personal life, this is just someone judging your action from the Five of Swords, winning a battle and being cocky about it. But you probably did something that someone thought that you couldn't do in your own personal goals for your life, and you did it and you accomplished it. In a world scale, it could just be, on a global scale, it could just be a bad action that now has consequences in November. So that's the astrology reading. I hope you guys like it and take notes and see how it works out for all of you. I wish you all a happy 2018. And you know, not all tarot readings have to be jolly. This one was a good one. You see what your focus is for the year and keeping your mind strong and doing what you need to do. Please share this reading and contact me for your own personal readings and so on. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Peace.